November 12, 1942, the western desert of North Africa. The sun burns like fire across endless dunes. The wind carries the echo of battle. And there, amid the wreckage of a British supply column, sits something unexpected. A small American vehicle, dusty, battered, abandoned. Its crew long gone. A single metal plate on the dashboard reads, Willie's MB. The Americans call it the Jeep. But to the men of the Africa Corps, this captured machine would become more than just war loot. It would be a revelation, one that shattered the myth of German superiority forever. When the German reconnaissance unit found the Jeep, procedure demanded they destroy it, but the officer in command had another idea. "Get our best mechanic," he ordered. "I want to know if we can use this thing." Moments later, under the searing desert sun, a group of Wehrmacht mechanics surrounded the strange little vehicle. Their uniforms streaked with sand, their expressions a mix of curiosity and disbelief. When they lifted the hood, silence fell. Inside, perfection of a different kind. No over-engineered parts, no complex fittings. Just clarity, order, color-coded wires, clearly labeled components. Every bolt, every piece, designed to be reached easily. In 2 decades of German engineering, these men had never seen anything so practical. The lead mechanic wiped dust from the engine block and read aloud the specs. A Go Devil engine, just 60 horsepower. By German standards, pathetic. But something about it was different. It wasn't built to impress. It was built to endure. This engine could be fixed by anyone. A farm boy, a factory worker, even a soldier under fire. No specialized tools, no fragile parts. Every bolt was standard. Every component identical across all Jeeps. If something broke, you replaced it. Simple. In that moment, German mechanics realized this wasn't just a vehicle, it was a philosophy, a machine not born from perfectionism, but from pure functionality. They drove it through soft dunes where German Kübelwagons often struggled. The Jeep just powered through. They overloaded it, pushed it, abused it, and it refused to die. Where the German vehicles demanded precision, this one demanded nothing. It simply worked. One mechanic murmured almost to himself, "This is remarkable." The officer frowned. "German engineering is the best in the world." The mechanic didn't argue. He just pointed to the gear lever. "One lever for 4-wheel drive. That's it." The officer's face hardened. But deep down, he knew. This crude-looking Jeep had just humiliated German design in the very environment where it mattered most. As days passed, the Jeep became a legend in their camp. Every officer wanted to drive it. Word spread through the Africa Corps. The Americans had built something extraordinary, and that realization carried a weight far heavier than any weapon. Because behind that simple machine lay something terrifying, America's manufacturing power. By late 1942, the United States was producing thousands of vehicles every single day. Ford's assembly lines could build a bomber every 63 minutes. Shipyards launched Liberty ships faster than Germany could sink them. The numbers told a story no one wanted to believe. America's factories were fighting a second war, a war of production, and Germany was losing. The Germans watched in silence as these kids worked. Tools everywhere, spare parts everywhere, no requisition forms, no delays. If a part broke, they replaced it in minutes. One American sergeant laughed and said, "We design everything so any farm boy can fix it. Color-coded wires, standard bolts, manuals at a 6th grade reading level. Anyone can fix a Jeep." Thousands produced every week, so many that if one broke down, they'd just grab another. For the German mechanics, it was a revelation and a humiliation all at once. They had spent years building for perfection. The Americans had built for efficiency, and efficiency had won. As months turned into years, German prisoners worked side by side with American soldiers, maintaining those very Jeeps they once saw as inferior. And slowly, something changed. They realized the genius behind the simplicity. Every part interchangeable. Every vehicle designed to share components. No matter what broke, the system never stopped. When one German mechanic asked, "How can you build so many?" an American replied, "Mass production. Each man does one task perfectly. Repeat it 1,000 times and you build an army." That one line stayed with him forever. 1946. The war ends. Germany lies in ruins. But amid the rubble, one former Africa Corps mechanic finds work, maintaining American Jeeps for the Allied occupation forces. He trains young Germans in what he learned during captivity: simplicity over sophistication, functionality over perfection. Those lessons became the foundation of a new German industry, one that would soon rebuild the nation. Volkswagen, BMW, Mercedes, all would rise again, not by repeating old mistakes, but by merging German precision with American practicality. The result? The Volkswagen Beetle, a car simple, reliable, and built for everyone. A direct descendant of the philosophy that started with that one Jeep in the desert. Decades passed. The old mechanics of the Africa Corps grew gray. At a reunion in 1967, they gathered to remember their days in Africa. One man looked at a restored Willys Jeep in a museum and smiled softly. "We never had vehicles like this," he said. "Not in numbers, not in reliability, not in design." Another added, "We built for perfection. They built for production. That's why they won." And in that moment, every man there understood. The Jeep wasn't just a vehicle, it was a teacher. It taught humility. It taught simplicity. It taught the world that winning a war isn't about building the best machine, but the one that can be built by the thousands, and never fail when it matters most. From the sands of North Africa to the factories of Detroit, from captured battlefields to post-war reconstruction, one small vehicle changed the course of history. The Jeep became a symbol of practicality over pride, of production over perfection. And when those Wehrmacht mechanics admitted, "We've never had vehicles like this," they weren't just acknowledging defeat, they were acknowledging wisdom, the kind of wisdom that rebuilt Germany and reshaped the modern world. The Jeep didn't just win battles, it taught humanity how to build for victory.